Well, what's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and now that I've had a good amount of time to actually test it out for myself, I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts on the Destiny 2 beta that came out, as well as just a couple of my initial thoughts going into the game when it finally releases early September. Now, I'm going to come out and say it, that I'm actually one of the few individuals that actually played Destiny, and while I don't think it was nearly as good as it was promoted, I think that once all the DLC content came out, and if you could get yourself a good group of friends, I think there was a lot of potential for it to be a truly incredible game, but it overall just ended up being a slightly better than good game for me. I mean, I've been playing it a good amount for the past 3 years. And for me, it kind of serves as the perfect filler game. Now, for those of you that don't know what a filler game is basically a game that you can go back and play, and basically play it between the time period when you're waiting for the next major release to come out. And for the past 3 years, that really has been Destiny. And when I am playing with friends, especially when I'm playing with my brother, I have had a lot of fun playing Destiny. Now, going into Destiny 2, I can definitely say that as an overall feel, the game doesn't change at all. If you're someone that was disappointed with Destiny 1 and just stopped playing it after a little while, then I don't recommend you go into Destiny 2. But if you're someone like me that was okay with it, then I think moving forward, then this will be okay with you. It will be okay with you too, because the formula for the gameplay itself hasn't really changed. I mean, I think that the primary improvements that I could say that Destiny 2 or this beta revealed is that the game definitely looks better, and I think the properties of the weapons themselves are much more impressive. I could honestly say that one of my biggest concerns was that there was a lot of guns that I had really worked hard to get in Destiny 1, and just the fact that you're pretty much losing all of your stuff and all of your loot and pretty much all the stuff that you worked hard for, I can easily say moving forward, I don't think I'm going to miss those weapons at all, because I ran into a couple of guns in just this initial beta here that I quickly will become very, very fond of. Now, the intro kind of main campaign that they pretty much have you start off with, I thought visually was somewhat impressive. It did have a somewhat Call of Duty feeling, which I don't think was really present in the first game, in which you're kind of thrown into a scenario and there's a lot of stuff going on around you, but it doesn't really affect you directly, and you're just kind of fighting your way through waves of Cabal, which I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed that we're going up against a familiar enemy, because personally, I thought the Cabal in Destiny 1 were the least threatening. I mean, they're the largest targets, so they're kind of easy to take out. So the fact that some Cabal named Gary, or whatever the hell, Grodd, is the primary antagonist of Destiny 2, I thought was kind of pathetic. I kind of would have wished we would have seen like a new alien race come attack, take the Traveler, which would cause basically all of the Guardians to lose their light, which kind of forces us to have to find new sources of light and fight back and take back the Traveler. Now, I can say that the primary strike that they showed us still follow the same sort of formula. You're going to keep moving forward on a somewhat linear pathway. There aren't really any branching pathways, which I really would have appreciated. And there is a boss at the end, but there's not really much tactics to him once you kind of get his patterns down. He's basically just one big, just bullet sponge that you just pretty much unload bullets after bullet after bullet, and then he kind of drops down to specific levels, and there's little kind of maneuvers that he likes to do. He likes to throw like little minions at you just to distract you while he kind of tries to take you out, which I didn't think was really all that difficult. And I think when the primary game comes out, I really hope there's a lot more diversity in terms of the objectives. A lot of one thing that Destiny 1 really got wrong was it got repetitive really, really fast. No matter who you were fighting, no matter where you were going, no matter what planet you visit, no matter what you were doing, it was always just a constant repeat of you would fight your way through a horde of enemies through linear pathways. You would get to a point where you need to send out your ghost would do something, you would move forward, and you would do it 2, 3, 4 times, and maybe there might be a boss at the end, and then you would have to go back out into space or into orbit. I really hope there's more diversity, because otherwise you know, I don't want it to feel too repetitive. I mean, I know that most games, when you really look at them at their core, are repetitive, but you know, some games are really, really good at hiding it, and Destiny 1 really wasn't. Even with all the extra DLC content and all the extra stuff that they added, at some point it still got back to that repetitive feeling, and I hope they change that moving forward. The two little multiplayer gameplay modes they kind of showed us was, one was called Quick Play and one was called Competitive. I really liked Quick Play. Quick Play was probably my favorite of the two, and it was a very, very small arena, and there was 4 team members on each side, so it was 4 on 4, and basically the whole objective is that there are 3 flag positions, and pretty much you have to take them, hold them, and for every kill that one of your team members gets, you're going to get, as far as I could tell, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to the counter, you're going to get either 1 point or 2 points for every kill that you get. So if you're only holding 1 flag, then for every kill your team gets, you're only going to get 1 point. If you're holding all 3 flags and you get a kill, you're going to get 3 points. I think that is a very, very, very fun gameplay style because it's fast-paced. I hope that there are more arenas that are this small because the action just keeps going, and at no point did I ever get into a situation where one team had all 3 flags, but it did make it very, very possible for you to come back even if you were only controlling 1 flag if your team was good enough, and I found myself in that situation very, very often, and I also thought it was very, very enjoyable. Going into the competitive multiplayer mode, this one was a little bit more complicated because it required you to either play as the defender or the attacker, in which you pretty much had to set up these bombs in certain locations, and the other team either had to wipe out everybody on the opposing team or disarm a bomb that they had set off, and you would kind of do this back and forth until you won a specific number of rounds. Not really sure how I felt about that. That one I wasn't too impressed with, but I think that it does feel different, so that definitely shows you that they put some effort and some thought into creating new gameplay modes, and I really hope that there are more variety when the full game comes out early September. So overall, my final thoughts on the Destiny 2 beta is that it didn't really feel like it's a major improvement in terms of the actual formula itself, but this is just a beta. I honestly don't really see what more they could improve on in terms of just adding more content, because I think the game played just fine. The gameplay was just fine and very familiar. I thought that the visuals on the maps themselves were beautiful. So all I can just kind of hope that they have is just a very, very large collection of gameplay modes. Then that's really all I can hope for, which I do hope that they do add. So those are just my initial thoughts on the Destiny 2 beta. If you had a chance to play it, tell me what were your thoughts. What was something that you were, you know, maybe disappointed with or something you were impressed with. Share your thoughts with me and everyone else in the comments down below. And if you like this video, free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check my future videos. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.